Hey YouTube, so I decided to do a voiceover of me doing my warm-ups. So sun salutations. This is usually when I do decide to stretch a little bit. This is usually the way that it goes, especially if I'm doing a long-term stress release. Stretching is one of the best ways that I go about it. Here I'm making sure that I'm pressing my belly button to the floor as I go into the side, stretching my side, keeping my rib cage aligned with my hips. And as I go into the flat back here, I'm pressing my ribs down to the floor and trying to make almost like a flat tabletop. Here, a lot of times it's really easy to like pull your shoulders towards your calf and the knee. You just want to make sure that that isn't happening by first causing the lowest part of your spine to reach towards the thigh and then the rib cage as well before you hunch your shoulders over. Here, I tried to make sure I kept that back half of my leg off the floor so then I could engage my glutes. I think the front foot flex is coming up. That's really good for the back of the leg, especially if you like run a lot. Now relaxing into the floor, reaching up and over. First, think about like really stretching the chest before you reach for the leg, because the goal is to like open up that torso and stretch your spine. Yeah. My trick to keeping balance with this, because it took me a little while to get used to that feeling, is I really like squeeze my lower back and my butt cheeks, and I'm able to stay over my feet. But this really helps you to open up your hips and stretch your hips out, as well as like balance with your core and your upper body in alignment with your legs. You can flex that extended leg, or you can point it depending on what gives you a stronger stretch. I usually isolate. Here you want to think about pressing the rib cage to the floor, not just hunching the back over, because the lower back is what needs the most stretch. Awkward car approaching. I was like, where can I do this? That would be best. Let me hide between two gates. Oh wait, gates are see-through. I'm so awkward. I want to hide my face right now, but I can't stop because the video's recording. Okay, twiddle thumbs. Here, if you really want to like push yourself, I know that I don't have the range to do it, so I would only do it in a house where there's rug, and if I bust my face, I won't die. But you can slightly reach your back further behind you, like arch your back, and that will really give a good stretch to the abdominal muscles and open up your shoulders. Front foot, I think I forgot to flex my front foot, but yeah. Just breathe through everything too. That is the best trick. Like, I always get a little lower when I start to think about my breathing. It's like, and the hips drop a little bit, and I start to relax. This crazy chick over here stretching in the middle of a park. Yep, that's me. Loca, loca, loca. All right, almost done this leg. Like, just don't make eye contact and it won't be as awkward. Anyway, moving on to our next stretch. I know that I wasn't staring at them, so what was I relaxing for so long in this stretch for? There we go, finally. All right. Yes. Yeah, and if you're comfortable here in this place, you can use the forearm to press that thigh out further and increase your turnout. I am not comfortable doing that because I know I will fall backwards. So just find where you're comfortable at and push those limits, and your limits eventually grow more and more. I guess that's just a part of the process. Here, the goal is to stretch out that booty cheek, that I guess your glute, and I reach across with my opposing hand after I twist out of the lunge, and you just kind of want to like, the goal is to get your chest to like face where your tailbone's facing. Obviously, I don't think that's humanly possible, but that's the goal. You'll feel it in your booty cheek if your booty's tight. I'm so dramatic. But yeah, really breathe into it. This is one of the most difficult stretches for me. I don't know why. I've always had like hips that just don't cooperate. So when you reach out those arms up like that and press into the flat back, thinking rib cage, almost as if your rib cages are like gonna swallow your feet, it really helps you to relax your hips and have no choice because of the opposing weight of your upper body. Yeah, and just relax over the knees. Oh, Jesus. That's where it's at. Untwist and control. I fell. It's all right. People fall sometimes. Keep pushing on. Things are going to get better. Yes. And sit. Booty stretch. Turn around, turn around. Okay, she's stretching it out. We're breathing this whole time. Just a friendly reminder to breathe. You can pause this video, play this video as you like. I think that it is a huge help for, a good way to kind of stretch out after workouts. Because obviously it's so easy to find different ways to work out, but finding different stretches to do to get those muscles that just like cause pain to all the rest of your body, because it's all connected, So you get a tight calf and you might feel it in your lower back because the muscles are all pulling on one another. So like I said, I hate this stretch here. I'm surprised I didn't cry. But if you, for me, a strange thing that I put in my mind is almost like a mosquito bite when it itches so much. And you really, it starts to itch to the point where it bleeds. I try to think of stretching as that sensation, like a good pain. And it almost helps me get through it. Such a weird comparison, but whatever. It looked like I said that in the video. All right, we're just opening up those hips a little bit more, fixing my tights because my shirt doesn't stay down. Yeah, stretch it out, girl. If you want to push your strength, you can go up on releve, and that'll test your balance. We're not doing that today. Oh, yeah, feel those hips. Alrighty. Balance test. Ha! Now we're really stretching out that quad. Make sure that your foot is almost between the butt cheeks. You do not want your foot to be too far to the side of your leg, because you could pop a muscle out of your knee, and you don't want to do that, right? So you just want to make sure that you're stretching the foot into the booty. You can also stretch your arch doing this, and then I go into a flat back here. If it does help with your balance, you can bend the standing leg slightly. All right, awesome. Now the goal is, if it's comfortable for you to press that thigh into the chest, then if you want, you could bring it a little bit to the side. I do an example facing the front a little later of what that looks like in the side, a little further extended. Yes, girl, the first time I tried this, I fell. But it's a repetition thing. Yes, and we're just stretching that thigh. Stretch it, yeah. And if it helps, you could always rest that foot on a fence or something, and it'll help you to get a stretch without having to hold it. You could hold onto the fence from behind you and rest that foot on the fence to get that stretch, that same stretch. And we're gonna pull it a little bit higher and relax. Cool. Let's shake it out and show you that little side stretch that I was talking about earlier. If you want to grab from underneath, it's a little bit more stable, and this will also test your balance. For me, this stretches the inside, the groin area, that inner thigh, which is a really strange place to get. But if you're one of those girls that does those chair workouts where you sit down and you do the thigh opens, the butterfly things almost at the gym, that is necessary to be stretched. All right, now here we're doing arms, because I am not an arm type of girl, and I know whenever I do arms, my arms feel like they're gonna fall off. So stretching it out is super important. Yep. And just stretch out those arms. And then you want to reach to the side. This is going to stretch your rib cage really, really well. Now we're reaching center and we're just relaxing. Deep breath, stretch the opposing arm. And I like to kind of run my hand over the body part that I'm stretching to allow me to just relax it, almost thinking of using my hand to press out all the tension throughout that muscle. It's not actually a way of helping to relax, but it's almost like a mental thing, like when you say affirmations in the morning. just, like being comforting to that part of your body that's not used to being stretched that way and wants love and affection, but instead you're ripping it apart. You know what I mean? And that same thing goes with like post workouts. Like, stretch your body because you love your body and you want it to last you. And if you're building muscle, it's like tightening and tightening and tightening. So you want to make sure that you're making progress in both directions and not able to like lift your leg past 90 kind of thing. We gotta keep it going. All right, so this is the jumping jack series. I do 10 to all 4 sides. I try to do a fast forward, but if you're going to start to do a little bit more intense stretches, then you definitely have to make sure your body's warmed up. And I realized that cold floor, and it's like was a little chilly out today, that it was stupid for me to not warm up before trying to go into a little bit more of an intense stretch. So I do 10, 8, I think it was like 4, 2, 1. And at the end of them, I drop into a big sumo squat and stretch out that flat back, reaching my arms behind me. I interlock my fingers, just stretch out those shoulder blades. And now we're going to take it to the floor, right down to the booty, straddle open position. Make sure that your toes are touching the sky or reaching behind you. Don't let them roll forward, and just relax where you're comfortable. Look at something on the floor, and if you want, you can walk your hands out further. Tap, tap. We're stretching over to the right side, left arm, big circle. And you just want to relax. As you do that circle, you can think of like looking up to the sky. So here you see I'm reaching my upper body's parallel. Then I reach up to the sky and back to parallel. Now we're going to go flat to the leg and walk over again. This time I try to reach just a little bit further. Again, pulling my belly button to the floor from like my spine almost. Spine to the floor before you decide to arch the back and force the shoulders to the floor, because I know that is it's common. So first we bend the front leg, stretching the back leg. The goal is to make sure we keep that back leg turned out. Stretch the front leg, bending the back leg. You're going to stay parallel and hang over, and then you're going to turn to your center and you're going to hang over there. This is like a half straddle to get you more comfortable with that straddle position. And from here we're just kind of relaxing. And we're going to turn to our split now. We're going to twist the upper body in the opposite direction so that our hips relax just a little bit, and back to our straddle position. I did run through this a little fast because I felt a tad bit uncomfortable. I should have gone out there earlier so that there was less people, but by the time that I did, I felt kind of weird. So here I am. Now we're stretching the front foot, bending the back. First we bent the front and stretch the back. And this is our left split. So we're going to take that leg and we're going to extend it behind us. Relaxing a bit into it. If you want, you can add that twist. I am not too comfortable with that left leg, so I didn't add that twist in. And I'm just kind of like loving on my hips a little bit because clearly they're not my friend. And we're going to walk over. Yes. And now we're going to relax the shoulders because we're going to try our best to be the best version of ourselves. Push, push, push. Don't stab yourself. Okay, let's try this side again. Over here. Oh, you know what? I'm just realizing now that you know what? Don't even listen to anything that I say. All the things that I'm saying right now are making no sense because there's this little recording app over my voiceover, so I can't see my body, I only see my upper body. So I'm assuming what's going on in my lower body. So you guys see what's going on, that's all that matters. All right, reach to the sky, toes extended in front of you. Grab the flowers. If you're the type that needs that extra stretch and reaching the toes is like a little bit painful because I know this stretch is no joke, put those feet on a fence and reach for the fence, and that'll really help you to be able to get a little pass so that you're able to grip around the feet. This is one of those stretches, like I said, just pretend like you're itching the back of your legs. You got a mosquito bite on the back of your legs, and that'll really help you to relax into the stretch. Make sure that you're extending those legs to the ground. Don't let the knees bend. And that's it. It's a wrap, guys. Thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe and show love and like and comment. And until next time.